Alright, Section 8, Electricity, solving power problem solve safely. Fuses, circuit breakers, understanding electricity, defining electrical needs, planning new circuits, improving the electrical service, safer electrical services. Electrical repair guide, cord and plug repairs, electrical boxes and accessories, wires and wiring, switches and outlets, special switches, outlet, hardware, wiring, new circuits, installing electrical boxes, flooring, ceiling, wiring, ceiling fixtures, wiring structure, glitches, wiring code, outdoor lighting, outdoor wiring, lamp repair, fluorescent fixtures, door chimes, bells, and buzzers. Alright, the job they do, fuses and circuit breakers. The job they do, fuses and circuit breakers. I would call with the watchman and with the electrical system fusing below. With the circuit breaker trips, it's telling you that something is wrong with the wrong. Maybe the two bare electrical wires just because of worn installation, too many appliances on the same circuit, and an overload of the motor. It makes no sense to replace a blown fuse or reset a circuit breaker unless you found and corrected the cause of the trouble. In condition exists, we make the replacement you will below and another fuse of the trip of the circuit breaker again. Most common cause of fuse blowing is too many applications. Same circuit fuse blows when you push down on the toaster handle. There is a good chance you may be operating a boiler or an electrical iron. Same circuit. If they unplug the iron and the boiler, then replace the fuse and reset the circuit breaker. A fuse has been blown by a short circuit would usually have the black and discolored mica window. A fuse of the blown because of the overload will be usually shown a clear window, but will be on a breaker, a flat metal strip. Circuit breaker just flips to tripped off position when there is an overload or a short circuit. It's practical to keep spare fuses handy near the fuse box when replacing a fuse. Be sure that the new one is in the same capacity. In other words, you blow a 15 ampere fuse, replace it with a 15 ampere fuse, never a 20 or a 25. Fuse box with main disconnected at the top. Circuit breaker panel with main disconnected. Shows the plug fuse, fuse-atron fuse, type 8 fuse, type S fuse, cartridge fuse, and circuit breakers do the same job but are not replaced when they blow. Instead of the toggle switch is pushed to reset on and made the capacity fuses. Double circuit breakers when connecting used to protect 250 volt connections. 2-in-1 circuit breakers has 2 breakers in space of 1. Alright, how to replace a blown fuse. Remove the fuse by turning it clockwise. First, shut off the main switch. If the 15 ampere fuse, make sure the replacement is the same. Pull the cartridge in straight out. Large one's best for the handle with the fuse puller. For the replace the trip circuit breaker, push the toggle handle to the reset or on. Always be sure your feet are on dry surface. Keep one hand on your side, at your side or in your pocket. Electrical terms, this meaning: in order for electricity to travel through the wiring, it has to be under pressure much of the same way the water and under pressure of the plumbing system. When this electrical pressure is measured by the volts or voltage. Modern homes receive 240 volts of electric power. The power enters with the home through the electrical service to enter with the passage with the meter, where the amount with the household user is measured with the distributed throughout the house. Most appliances operate at 120 volt current. Heavy-duty appliances such as electric range or oven and clothes washer or dryer require 240 volts. Current rated with electricity delivered to the appliance is measured in amps. It's limited above the diameter of the wire that must flow through just as the large diameter of the pipe. Never more gallons per minute. With the large diameter wire can conduct more amperes since excessive current causes wire to overheat. With the fuse side of it must be matched to the wired side, so the necessary fuse will blow when a form of the wire becomes higher. As with the wire travels through the wall ceilings of the house, divided them into circuits. Each circuit connects a series of wall outlets and switches. Heavy-duty appliances with their own operating circuit. Household circuits are protected by the fuse or a circuit breaker. This device breaks for interrupting the circuit. This device breaks or interrupts the circuit when it is overloaded. The number of electrical circuits house determines how many electrical appliances can be used conventionally safe. If your home is over 20 years old and has never been rewired, it's undoubtedly needed improvements of the wiring system. How to shut off a main power. What to look for. Buying a new home, check the side of the electrical service panel with the ideal service of 3-wire, 150-200 ampere wire, suitable size. Home equipped with electrical range, a hot water, high heater, dryer, and central air conditioning, along with the usual light. Appliances need with 150 amp service as a minimum, while the electrical heating Need increases to 200 amperes. Buying an old home, check the capacity of the electrical service panel. At the home with 3 wires, service the value of the one over the 2 wires. The information on the following page will help you to calculate your needs and make more information decisions. Appraising the wiring in the existing home, the greater majority is estimated 90% of the national homes may need some rewiring. Electrical systems displays of the system described at the following page. Don't use the selection based on the review requirements. Electrical contactor. How to hook up the power lines. Never attempt to work on electrical power hookup and entering the house. The wires can carry high voltage and are dangerous and should become damaged and worn. Call your power company to make repairs. How to shut off the main power breaker. Plastic box containing cartridge fuses, pull handle fuses, cartridge box, pulling the shut off. Main power shut off by pulling the plastic cartridge. Remove both cartridges. Shut off the household cartridge. Circuit breaker boxes. Flip main switches. Shut off the power. Circuit switchers has 1 or 2 switches that control household power that merely have to be pushed off position. Large type switches usually are found in older wiring insulation. Main power switch lifting, pulling lever should be off and in main position. Is defining electrical needs. Is your wiring adequate? Your home needs for the wiring is exhibiting with the following symptoms: fuses, circuit breaker blows, tripped off, and the lights flicker with the appliances are turned on. Appliances do not operate full power. The TV image shrinks for the heavy appliances unused. Many of the extension cords most people can be managed their present wiring only because not all circuits are used at the same time. A list of watts of appliances would normally be operated simultaneously. Be sure that they include light bulbs and fluorescent tubes. Appliance watches usually appear with a nameplate. If any with a nameplate missing, illegible, check the appliance need with the chart below. Add up to the watch bulb lights appliances on each 150 volt circuit. Check the fuses as the results more than 1,650 on a circuit with a 15 amp fuse or 2,200 for a 20 amp fuse. You may blow the fuse when the appliances are on. To avoid trouble, plug one or more of the items into another circuit. Circuits carrying 240 volts are almost always used for a single appliance. Check the amperes against fuses. Tips to get started. Inadequate power for the home does not mean that you must completely renew all the wiring plus the service panel. The wiring can often be updated with the installation of additional circuit with the existing system. Completely renewed wiring should be left to the licensed electrician. Should be left to the licensed electrician. The following recommendation in the section: you can put the horsepower of the home's electrical supply. The first step is to learn something about local codes for the city of the town. Building inspector of some area are not protected to do your own. It's not permitted to do your own electric wiring. Many communities will permit you to install the new circuit up to the service electrical panel and instance of the licensed electrician complete with the final hookup. The wire practice, since of the high cost of additional circuits for the routing of the wire, most electricians will be happy to inspect the work before making final connections for only a fraction of what they would charge for the entire job. The code determines the type of the wire. Some use the Romax with a non-metallic sheathing. Others use a BX armored cable. Wire size is important. Wires are rated in numbers. The lowest number indicating larger diameter wire, page 261. Number 12 is generally recommended through the home. Number 14 can be used, however, for 15 ampere circuits. Parts of your planning include checking the existing electrical service panel to see if the room of the new circuit. Be sure to check all the local utility companies with certain that the lines leading into your home have the capacity to deliver extra power the new circuits would require. Refer to the electrical service panel illustrated for help to determine the circuit should be the various appliances. Try to plan circuits for the light is to keep separately the heavy-duty circuits such as those for the kitchen and laundry area. The kitchen circuit should always several outlet allow for several outlets, at least one for every 4 feet of counter space. Circuits for lighting convenience outlets, except for the kitchen and laundry, should be planned on the basis of a single 20 ampere 120 volt circuit with every 500 square feet of floor space, or one 15 ampere 120 volt circuit for every 375 square foot. The floor space. Outlets should be spaced every 12 feet around the walls on each room. Relieving overloaded circuits. Overloaded circuits are caused by either two of the many circuits at the same time. For example, the kitchen electrical outlets share with the same circuit with the lights of the refrigerator, radio, some of the appliances with the chances of your fuses blow whenever all of the operating units simultaneously. You switch to try plan. pan or a toaster. You eliminate kind of overloading with a connecting 4-outlet appliance plug with directly to the electrical service panel. With the top sketch shows the 120 volt split circuit connecting with the appliance outlets with the 2 spare fuses with the location of the entire entrance panel with the hooking up with the 4 appliances simultaneously wrapped up to 4,400 watt capacity. Before planning the installation, is your fuse has 2 unused power takeoff that can be recognized with the 2 empty spaces if it would accept the fuse or a circuit breaker and the home is so equipped. If all of the power terminals are in use, you will have to install an add-on electrical panel. Once 2 power takeoff terminals, establish the following wire configuration upper diagram to run a number 12 with 3 wire cable to the appliance plug to service panel. Installation and add-on the units for the job with a small electrical service panel with the power over the main of service electrical flow with the add-on panel with a distributed supplementary circuit. With most service electrical panels have 2 power take off screws located on the top of the left, the 2 right plugs on the 2 right plug fuses. Wire leading at the add-on panel connected with these terminals shown when the 2 black wires go on the terminals of the white wire over the goes to the neutral bar. And the add-on panel black wires are joined to the fuses screw terminals in the white to the neutral bar, and new circuits are then connected. How to avoid danger. Working with electricity is not hazardous as long as you obey strictly safety rules. Always shut off the disconnect with the power before handling wires. If you're working on the electrical service entrance, do not stand on the damp door. Protect yourself with wearing rubber gloves or the rubbers, and stand on the rubber mat or the piece of dry wood. If you doubt your skill with the call a licensed electrician only with the matters of the proof of the testing organizations such as the alternate underwriters laboratories. Grounding wire. Household wiring is color-coded. The 120 volt circuit with the 1 wire called the neutral wire is white, with the other with the hot wire is the black. Another color, never white, but all live wires. Black is either black or another color, but never white. Both live wires and circuits carrying at 240 volts only. The 1 wire should be usually black and the other another color. Neither should be white. 3 wire circuits carry both voltage. 1 wire is white and the other 2 black or colored. You get 120 volts with connecting a white wire with a colored wire to the outlet, with the 240 volts connecting 2 colored wires to an outlet. Fuse circuit breaker panels of the home with the grounded, that is, with the wire connecting the service panel to a rod of the driven or if the residential area of the ground wire is usually attached with a water supply pipe, which leads to the ground with the white neutrals with the area of the branch circuit throughout the house of all of the connected with the ground terminals of the service panel with a necessary number of the reasons such as the reduction of possible effects of lightning. Ground wire systems are those in which all of the metal outlets on the switch box with the cable armor and the exposed metal parts of the wiring system connect with the back with the ground terminals and the fuse circuit breaker. Ground terminals ground receptacle with the connected to the box by a jumper wire with the other means with the 3-prong appliance cords continue with the ground to an appliance or a power tool. If a loose wire touches the frame such as an appliance or a tool, the ground wire will protect the user from the shock of the maybe the color of the fuse to blow with a circuit breaker with a trip. The appliances with the tools do not have the protection with the dangerous. If you could get a shock with something that should go wrong with the internal wiring. Check the system grounding. Be sure that the type of the wiring is installed within your home. The wiring is non-metallic cable. The cable should have the 3rd wire, which has no plastic sheeting. This is connected with directly to the electrical outbox wiring. Is a BX cable, and the system is grounded because of the metal sheathing or the BX cable acts as the ground conductor. The metal conduit also serves the ground conductor. Once you've determined electrical wiring is grounded, you can carry grounding safety 1 step further, installing a 3-prong electrical outlet throughout the house. Be sure the 3rd wire with the 3 wires, the bare one is attached to the ground terminal with the outlet receptacle. At least expensive, the easier method would be to equip all 3-prong appliance cords with the ground adapter plug, but be sure to connect with a small wire with the plug to the screw with the electrical box plate. If you neglect to do this, the ground circuit will be ineffective. In double insulated tools, all wiring is protected with the extra layer of the insulation. With the extra layer of the even with the primary insulation fails, no part of the tool can be electrically live. The casing of these tools are usually plastic, further reduce the shock hazard. Such tools do not require a 3-prong plug with a ground 3-wire extension cord. All tools that are equipped with 3-prong plugs, however, they must be connected with the ground receptacle even in conjunction with the 3-wire extension cords. Electrical repair guide. It can follow with the operating instruction with a dishwasher with a drive with a minor electrical range. You can learn with the necessary technical fact with a technique with a hand dozen with a minor electrical repair with a replacing old wall with a switch with a new silent one type, installing dimmer switch with a replacing broken lamp switch being hanging new ceiling fixtures. These are all intake tasks that can be accomplished with a minimum of the skilled tools. Even seemingly more complex jobs such as the installing of additional electrical outlet with the wiring of a new circuit with a simple manner with the following with a step-by-step instruction in this section. Important unplug appliance on the working on the change of the switch electrical wire, remove the fuses, shut off the circuit breaker with the supply with the power to the circuit on the working on. You probably already have the most of the tools required for the electrical repairs. Wiring this includes screwdriver, knife, ruler, hammer, saw, chisel, brace, and bit, and electrical pliers, pipe, metal snips, and locking pliers. More complicated jobs are specified in the inexpensive specified tools such as screwdriver with a device on the end of it that holds the screw for the insertion of the accessible area, such as the electrical box, a Phillips type screwdriver with the cross-slotted screws often used in appliance nut drivers have within the socket with the end of the driver to remove the nuts in areas where the wrench would not fit. Another necessity with a neon lamp to insert a small light with two wires inserted into the electrical outlet to see whether the power is present. Long nose power, with the whole screw with nuts and similar use of hardware you can insert with the remove of the light. Hard to reach places inside of the walls and applying for the clips with the side cutters, which for the cutting the wires. Wire strippers are neatly through the insulation cover with the wiring removed without distributing the wire itself. The necessary step prior to making connection with a new wire. This is also called a multi-purpose tool with the cuts and strips and wires and can clip terminals faster than the ends of the wire, joining them with the use of solder. In electrical work, soldering gun is better of the choice, so the soldering iron it heats faster and has an easily held pistol grip. Hard extension cords. Household extension cords usually have the two wires inside of the adequate only with the operation of one or more two small appliances with a thin cord capacity with the conducting electricity tube with many of the appliances. The lamp plug within the same with the cord with the will cause the overheating, creating a possible fire hazard. The length is also important. Long cord waste for the current. Longer cord wastes current. It is too long with a drop in the current can reduce the appliance efficiency with the table to recommend the suitable extension cord wire lengths, the diameter of various electrical loads. Move the extension cord from the outlet, grasping with the plug body, otherwise the wires may tear loose with the resulting a shock or short circuit. 3-wire extensions can be used with electrical power tools, outdoor appliances. 3rd wire grounding wire plug with the type of the cord into the ground outlet, ground and suitable adapter, page 48. Using a 3-wire extension tool for the appliance where they have a 3-wire cord. Most cords are sheeted with plastic and can take rugged use. Rubber sheeted cords are more flexible and easier to store. Wall boxes, accessory boxes, damping locations, ceiling boxes and accessories, thin wall can do the accessories, and bending can duty with a hickey. Types and uses: buying cable, service entry cable, non-metallic sheet cable, underground lead and branch circuit, extension and appliance cords, armored BX cable, ground wire lead in case underground cable, thin wall sheeted conduity. Wire sizes not 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 9, 10, 12, 14. Installing non-metallic cable. Installing BX cable. Switching outlets, replacing a switch. Switches are usually in hot black wire, always in hot black wire side of the circuit, and never the neutral white wire side. Disconnect the black wires only, except for the switch with the loops at the right, page 270. And multi-wire switching. To remove the old switch, you must first remove the fuse and turn off the circuit breaker with the control switch. On page 252, remove the switch plate and when the screws holding the switch for the switch box, over the switch out of the box. If the wires are accessible, replace with the wires with respect to the terminals, replace with the same position for the new switch. Tighten all the connections, tuck the wire, switch back into the box, fasten the screws and replace the switch plate. Replace the outlet. If an electrical outlet is faulty, it will short circuit with a blow a fuse with the trip of the circuit breaker whenever the appliance of the lamp is plugged in. With the test of whether the outlet is defective, the place plug in a lamp, you know if the working lamp does not go out with the circuit is already, then the outlet is faulty. With the remove of the damaged outlet, turn off the power of the affected circuit of page 253. Remove the outlet plate, move the 2 screws holding the receptacle, and pull out on unit out of the box. Remove the wires from the respective terminals. Replace them the same arrangement. The new receptacle with the receptacles are 3-wire grounded type, in which for the case of the either with the ignored ground terminal with a short length of the wire with the ground terminal directly with the outlet box with the local code. Multiple switch outlets, usually with the only you replace the switch outlet with a faulty with a hookup with the multiple units should be tested the same way with a single unit's position on the terminal. Multiple switch of the outlets vary slightly on the same some brands. Important thing is to place all of the wires removed from the old switch outlet or outlet of the same screw terminals with the new unit. Combination unit switching receptacles are wired simultaneously with a single and double switches. Each switch of the outlet and pilot light requires one common wire obtained with using the jumper to connect all three terminals. Ground wires are not shown on this page. Receptacle and switches are wiring on the wall surface. If you have to add electrical surface to the room, the easiest, less expensive way to surfacing wire with the wiring method, eliminating the need to cut into the walls and install electric wire to drill the whole studs and the fish wires. Page 264. Several forms of the surfacing wires available. Plug-in strip of the rigid plastic strip of the fastened to the wall with the baseboard with the strutted end of the plug with the existing wall outlet for the ever needed receptacle. Molded plastic outlet is inserted in the strip. Molded outlet strip is a flexible plastic ribbon wire that running along each side under the plastic lip, starting with the strip that connects directly with the house or wiring electrical box. One strip that has been fastened to the wall outlets clips with a cable of wood whenever they are needed. Metal raceway, the metal channel through the wires are run with the raceway with the fastened to the wall. Sometimes with taking a piece of the baseboard with the outlet switch of the light fixtures can be mounted right on the metal channels. The type of the unit is most operated with a major electrical expansion. Such would be involved, for example, adding a new section to the home. Wiring new circuits. Wiring a new construction is solve the problem in the sense all of the top of the ceiling joists are accessible with the running wire of the existing structures. However, the poses a problem. The working side of the case of the plaster walls and ceiling channels must be gouged out of the wires of the later with replastered. In such instances, surface wiring, page 263. Is easier for the drywall construction necessary for the wire through the space between the wall and the ceiling. Method of doing this is known as fishing. This is done by fishing with a fish-shaped spring length of the wire hooked at one end of the pre-drill with the access hole. The ceiling floors or walls, electrical cables attached to the hook, then pulled through the construction whenever the possible plan to run wires across the attic floor or across an open ceiling at a basement. This will minimize the amount of fishing. Lath and plaster walls. Ideal position, switch position 4 feet from the floor of the outlet box, roughly 12 to 18 inches off the floor. Outlets wall mounted light fixture should be 60 to 70 inches above the floor. Be sure to mount the switch's opening side of the door rather than on the hinge side. Always 2.5 inches deep electrical box rather than the shallow ones, unless some of the structural problem will not permit the deeper box. The leather and plaster constructions can locate the electrical box almost anywhere along the wall, since the wood lathe work is strong enough to hold the box securely. Drywall installation. In drywall wood paneling, we cover the mount between the side of the beam with a special clamping device with a grip inside of the hollow wall. The strongest point with the type of the construction, however, is of the studs. You can get the box equipped with the brackets that can be nailed with the screws directly with the face of the stud work and the fit the box directly onto the stud. You must first locate the stud and chip the notch out of the drywall large enough to accept the fastening bracket. Connect the wire from the box before placing in a hole. The installation is complete with the patching of the hole on page 99. Or installing electrical box. There are several methods for locating stuff. The following should be worked for: the tap of the wall with all the points of the nail of the baseboard with a hollow sound means that there is no stub. The sound indicate the presence of the stub. To be sure you have found the stud. A small drill, 1/8 of an inch drill hole. Bores a whole wall straightly above the baseboard with directly several holes side by side until you bore into the stud. Baseboard removal. With the baseboard off, check to see where the two panels of the drywall meet. The point will indicate the center of the stud. This method also works with the paneled walls. Measure for the corner. Studs are generally located either 16 to 24 inches apart. It depends on the local building codes. Trying to measure out with the form from the corner of the room to find the approximate location of the stud using a drilling technique described above to find the exact stud location. Mounting a ceiling box. If you plan to seal a ceiling light straight above the ceiling accessible, you have the work below with the cut and away the plaster over the ceiling. Make sure that it fit in the shallow box with backing in the way the fishing the big BX cable through the opening now install the hanger across the opening and the cable to the outside one of the holes to give it the lock nut. The hanger passes through the center hole for the box, tighten the nut until the box is secured against the backing. The shallow box recommended with a few Chandler Canon keys are large enough to cover a full-size box. Recessed ceiling floor. To install the recessed ceiling floor, first locate the ceiling joist to touch the sound necessary with the drilling. A few holes, small drill outlining the space between the joints of the box. Joists are usually 16 inches apart. Solid out required a section of the keyhole section screw. Solid just screw with the wood strips between the joints and the support with the box. Some manufacturers apply metal support strips as well as junction boxes as part of fixtures. Bring cable to the junction box, secure with the lock nut. Always 4 inches wires beyond the lock nut for the connecting. Make sure the cable end of the protected with the insulation sleeve. Connect with the white wire with the nickel-plated binding post and with the black wire with the brass-plated post. Push the fixture into the opening and secure with the brown head screws. Installing a floor outlet is convenient because when you need not to fish wire, installing easiest way above the basement with the required with the before taking off the usual availability for the cable to run along with the basement joist. First locate the void joist insulation point, drilling a hole with the basement ceiling and the floor with above at each side of the joist. The holes are marks of the joist width, and so making opening on either side. How to install a standard chandelier. It is sturdy, hard to work with a ceiling check with a fixture, check with the weather with you on the job. Do with the job if it is must be by a licensed electrician approved by one. For being any work, turn off the main power source of the circuit controlling light by page 253. You for the test light to find out if the wiring is hot. If the old fixture hanging bracket is the same with the one that comes with a new fixture, use the old one. You'll need to support the fixture with as you work. You can do this by bending a coat hanger to the side with a hooking new fixture to the ceiling box. You can tie with the fixture to the box with a string cord. Connect with the black wire with the ceiling box with the black wire with the fixture with the white wire with the white wire to the white wire to white wire, making sure the wire does not rub against the surface and the white wire through the insulation applied with the type of any supply air with the wiring nuts tape so that they do not be loosened. If the preferred solder connections of the wire, first solder them together and apply with enough tape to equally thickness scraped away insulation. Wiring switch outlet fixtures, wiring 2 and 3 and 4-way switches. The switch outlet fixture of the wire depends on the location relation of the wire leads from the main surface of the entry of the diagram following with a 3-page variety with the common section outlet fixture wiring installation. You the plan with the diagram closely resemble the wiring arrangement file with the pattern of the joining white wire with the white wires, black wire to black wire. White wires are always neutral, black ones are always hot. However, the certain switch insulation, both black and white, are hot. In such cases, you should dab black paint on the white wire at the switch to make sure to indicate the hot wire. Drawings on page 268 and 269 are dramatic without grounding wires. Wiring code, new ground requirement. The National Electrical Code now requires the new residential outlet to be grounded by the grounding wire of the jumper connected between the grounding outlet with the box with the grounding terminals, receptacle grounding screw with the provided for the purpose of many of the new box lacking with a special grounding with the connected with the region where the jumper is provided. Securing ground path with the grounding is established by contact between the outlet box with the receptacle metal yoke with the type of the contact adequate with the screw with the type of the box with the flush type of the outlet box however they have frequently installed with the deeply in the wall with the permanent sound metal to metal contact with the yoke and the box. Grounding in this case depends on the uncertain electrical parts provided with the mounting of the screw with the jumper. The yoke is especially designed to provide reasonable, reliable ground circle between the box and receptacle. Serve the check with the local code. Note all switches have ground terminals, which are often used in the non-metallic boxes. Installation requirements. Outdoor receptacles must be weatherproof type. The either spring-loaded cover to seal them, whether with the net, the juncture of the between the cover plate and the wall surface must also be made with a watertight caulking compound. Surface mounted receptacles also have with weatherproof outlet box mounted with the outside of the face of the wall rather than the flush with the wall. Wearing either with the tap of the lead for the box, the length of the thread of the conduity. Page 272 of all the wiring outlets must be protected with the ground fault interrupter. Grounding and wire connections are the same in the indoor receptacles. Only a fixture of the wiring approved for the outdoor should be used with the outdoor lighting. If the bulb will show with the weather, it should be weatherproof to prevent shattering of the contact with the rain and snow with the wall with the operation. One type of the outdoor lighting fixture is designed with a small box with a connection between Fixture wire supply wires could be made with the box is equipped with a cover and gasket with protection given the rain after the connections have been made. One way to make sure the wiring passes through the house wall with width conduity, rigid thread type with a screw with the back into the box with the conduity leads with the ground conjunction box inside of the house with a properly connected and serve with the ground outside fixture. If the conduity merely passes the wall with the serves only with the channel with the cable must be grounded. Any tools appliances that are plugged into the outdoor outlet should be grounded with a double insulated type. Make sure the cords are not frayed. The extension cord should be made sufficient capacity that they will convey current to the tool without dropping the voltage. An outdoor soft lit light was shown to the right with hooked up with a photoelectric eye with a turn light with the dusk off and dawn. The bulb is screwed into the photoelectric eye adapter. The adapter is then screwed into the socket and no further wiring is required. Outdoor wiring. Planning the outdoor wiring into each group, each circuit is protected with its own fuse and circuit breaker with a directive with a main circuit with an inch with the add-on with a panel with a 256 with the wire, 3 with the conduity, 260 with the preferred with the grounding underground type of cable. Can also be used to check the local building electrical codes before doing any actual wiring. Plan with the number of the circuits for the permanent lights with carefully head the extension cord add the 10 to 20 feet whenever the distance is between the house of the protected outlet fixture with the number of the feet of the wiring. You'll need to buy this will be to provide plenty of slack with buried wiring using number 14 heavier wire. Cut drill holes with the side of the house close with the fuse with the circuit breaker with the house of the wood. Make sure the bolt holes are located between the studs. Holes in the concrete stone that are made with the stars and drill with the areas around with the holes on each end of the conduity should be plugged with caulking compound after wiring the cable is installed. Prevent damage of the lawn when you dig a trench between the house and the fixtures. Cut the side into the blocks with a long handled spade with the side with the burlap. Locate the electrical box and fixture with the lace 18 inches above the ground. Another concrete area the cable at least 18 inches below the ground and protected from gardening tools. You can bury with the cable as little as 6 inches below the ground if it is covered to protect against the damage. Safer still, routed with the galvanized conduity. Make sure the outdoor wiring is complete with the terminals connected before connecting on the wiring to a fuse or circuit breaker box. Probable sources of trouble. The lamp flickers. Will go on and check to be sure that the bulb still is sound with the tightly sealed with the plug is firmly in the outlet and socket with the functioning with the known above the causing of the problem. Unplug with the lamp to check for the cord with the frame with a bare wire. Loose connection with the plugging the cord. Damage of the following instruction below with the replace. If the cord is not a problem with the difficult, it may be to switch. It may be necessary to install the new switch or examine the old one closely before disconnecting the wire with connecting the new switch in the same way. It shows the outer shell is made out of the brass from aluminum and insulating sleeve with a socket that has 2 terminal connecting wire, the cap, insulating liner, and then it shows that. Fluorescent fixtures, starter type and rapid start with a fluorescent tube with need special fixtures to operate properly. Straight tube fixtures contain a socket at either end with the pins fit with the pins for the circular tube pin. Plug into the socket held into place with the spring clip. The fluorescent fixture with the ballast each for the tube with the feature of the accommodated fixture for the most of the tube contains starters with the rapid starter tube. However, they do not use them. Ground wire and rapid starter fluorescent fixtures, whether they start a circular type should be straight or circular type should be connected with either the ground wire with the fixture with the ground ceiling mounting assembly to install the starter. Push into the socket, press it down with half turn circular with the install of the tray tube with the line with the pins with the socket still slots either end of the fixture. Push the tube into the screw with the quarter turn. Place the tube starters with the position ballast must be exactly the same type of the rating with the those being with the replace adapters needed. The operating fluorescent tube, the direct current with the fluorescent tubes, even the direct current with the fluorescents are designed with the operated area with a temperature of 50 degrees with the high with the operated tube with the cold air with the need the special fixture with the turn on all power with the fixture before working on it. Fluorescent tubes will not much longer if they are kept burning if the constantly turned on and off. In fact, with the manufacturer rate, the life axis of the tube with the number starts subject to the life of the 40-watt fluorescent term turned on and off 3 hours at a time is about 12,000 hours. Troubleshooting checklist. Door chimes and bells and buzzers. Troubleshooting and repair. Door chimes and bells operate with a low voltage current will reduce the transformer with a 120 volt hospital current with reduced voltage will give you the shock if you stay with the work with the chime and the bell system without shutting off the power. Chiming the bell failure. But the first thing to check with the wiring between the button and the transformer with the same wire would be broken, shorting out at some point with simply joining and rejoining or tape the wire. In wiring intake with the probable cause of the internal button would tend to become corroded with the web of the contact point successful cleaning them. And sandpaper, if they are hard to get to, try with replacing the button. If the button is not the problem, check with the connection with the chime of the bell. Vibration sometimes loosen. The problem is not likely to be the chime or the bell mechanism. Investigation leads you to believe that the replacement probably easier. The repair, installing a new chime, locate transformer unit, run wires to the chime unit, subsequently the entrance button, check the wire chime with transformer operating same voltage. Labels will tell you many transformers, variety of voltage level, with separate terminals marked for each. Be sure that only those suited for the chime or the bell. Section 9, climate control, heating and air conditioning your home.